Now the second part of this exercise is for you and your group members to team up and work together to reenact and recreate each part of replacing a screen in a silkscreen frame. In order to do this, Mr. Ivy is going to demonstrate each of the steps in the process. Then you and your group members are going to find the instructions and then follow along with the instructions, photographing yourselves, redoing each part of the process so that those photographs can later be illustrated. Pay close attention to each of the steps in the process. There is no set minimum number of photographs for you to take, but each part does need to have its own individual picture. So if you want, you can take 2 or 3 different photographs illustrating or recreating each part of the step in the process. When you do this, you should have a set of photographs that you and your teammates can use and share with each other. Once you have finished taking these pictures, do share them so that you can place them and begin work on this particular part of the exercise. To begin, let me show you what we're going to be creating. Each one of these, just like we illustrated our tools, will be brought into Illustrator and vectorized in a one-color lined outline. So to get started, let's go up to File and create a new document. As with the last document, the size of it is going to be 8 by 8 inches. We don't know how many artboards we're going to need for now, so I'm going to keep it at 1, and then we'll say Create. And we're going to take this one photograph at a time. Again, with our layers, we'll set layer 1 to be our photos layer. Inside of this layer is where we're going to place each of our photographs. So I'm going to go up to File and down to Place and find the pictures that we're going to work from. In my case, we can find the first one, which will showcase just the screen itself. There we are. We'll click and drag. Now the only thing that really needs to be photographed are the important parts of the instructions. You don't have to go into full detail of showing everything in the background or all parts of the person. If you can just show the hands and a minimal amount of the body and also the basic outline of the frame, then that's what we're looking for. The other thing that you can illustrate is if there's any kind of motion for your design. For instance, for this first illustration, I want to illustrate this frame being turned over. So in addition to drawing off the frame and the hands and part of the body, I'm also going to indicate the motion of turning it over by adding some arrows to it. Going back to my example, here's what I created. Here you can see I've got the frame and I've got the little arrows turning it over for this one. This one set for this particular instruction has its own artboard. All of the other parts will have their own artboards as well, and it's a good idea to do each one of these in order. The final thing to note is just with our tools, I've got a variety of outline widths within my design. So I've got thick and thin lines, and I'm using those arrows to indicate where to move things around. Again, there is no set minimum of illustrations I'm looking for. As long as each step is illustrated, that's what the project will call for. It tends to be better to have more illustrations than to not have enough and have to go back and to take more photographs. Once you're finished, you should have an entire set of illustrations that you can use for the next for the next exercise of building out the technical manual. Place each one of your illustrations onto their own frame, their own artboard, and once you're finished, you can save all of these up.